Lions TV, good afternoon on this Sunday once again where we sit within an international break. This video is going to be a little bit all over the place really. So obviously I've mentioned it's an international break, and during those aforementioned international breaks, which we've already had two of by the way, I think, this season, and we've got another one next month. I'm sure there never used to be this many. We all try to find ways to occupy ourselves and our crazy minds to get us through until Derby at home on this next coming Saturday. So I was sifting through social media. I think it was Thursday night. It was Thursday night, and I'm looking at football sites, etc. And I come across this photo on that Facebook page, and I did the Docs to the Den, of course, about 5 years ago now, and there is going to be a second Mill history documentary. I did put a little teaser out there, but I don't think a lot of people cottoned on what that was about. It's not going to be a follow-up for the Docs to the Den. It is going to be Mill history related. This coming video now, what you're about to watch in a minute, hopefully, is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about something bigger, something on the scale of Docs to the Den, something better, hopefully, as I've got 5 more years' experience since the last one. But this photo I came across, and obviously I did the Docs to the Den, like I've mentioned, short story, extremely long. I've never seen this wall. It's in Hunsdon Road, which was the side of the ground where the old seats were, and the original seats. Later they put some in, didn't they, by the in between the halfway and the cold blow and that little arch there. I think I made that into a little family stand. But the original seats where the players' bar was, etc. I went there once. I'll cover that in the video. So I went to find this wall. I set out to find this wall in complete boredom, and obviously my interest in the football club and history of it. So that's the video you're going to watch in a minute, hopefully, like I said. But I just thought I'd mention, as we're on the subject of international breaks, that I went to watch Welling United yesterday against Eastbourne Borough. I'm from Welling, obviously, originally. My boys still live in Welling, so I thought, why not go down there? I did sometimes go to Maidstone because my parents moved down that way years ago, and I used to play for Maidstone United youth team, and I was living down that way as well. So people saying, why don't you go to Maidstone no more? I just thought I'd go to Welling on this occasion. I'm glad I did. They lost the game by 1-0. Dennis Bergkamp's son plays for Welling United, worked that one out. But even bigger fucking madness is I knew that George Alexander was there because he scored a hat-trick for Eastbourne Borough in the week leading up to this game. But also I didn't realise that I got there. Sean Williams now plays for Eastbourne Borough. He played the whole game at central midfield. Joe Wright, who kept a clean sheet in the 1-0 win for Eastbourne, made a really good save late on. Ex-Millwall. On the bench and in the squad also was Alfie Pavey and Jaden Davis. But the big news is, I didn't actually believe it until someone told me and I saw it for myself. There you go. Sir Jed Wallace was in attendance. Obviously good friends with Sean Williams. I think they was going out for dinner or something afterwards. I just said a quick hello. I didn't get into conversations over will he or won't he or are you. But yeah, good to see Jed, and very, very random to see him alongside Dennis Bergkamp's son playing for Welling. It was a little bit of a cheese dream reality yesterday, but just thought I'd mention that. And now we're going to get into the video, which I filmed the other day. It's a short vlog. It may or may not interest you. And obviously the old Dennis gone, but I did find this wall that I'm going to put on the screen there, and as far as I can tell, it's the only thing still existing from the old ground. I do mention in this video as well Chris Bethel. A lot of you know Chris is. He's a good man, very well respected at Millwall, Millwall historian, or was, I'm not sure if he still is, but heavily involved in the club for years and years and years. And I keep saying, and I keep referencing in this video, he said it's here, he said it's there. So I've spoken to Chris since, and it was there. That's all I'm going to say. You'll see what I mean. However, it's been taken and it's now at Calvert Road. So it's still in the possession of Millwall Football Club, but it wasn't where I was looking for it. And no wonder I didn't find it. Enjoy the video. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And please subscribe to Lions TV. Come on, you Lions. So obviously this is where we need to be. In case you don't know. I'll show you. You can no longer drive down the famous Cold Blow Lane. So we'll have to go the long way round. So John Williams Close, if you haven't seen the documentary, I'll put the link in at the end. So it was, I think, 5 years ago now. That is where the old halfway line stand would have been. This is where the main entrance would have been, just there.
And the away end obviously at the far end. But this is where we're going to be today, Hunsdon Road. So this was the stand. I only ever went in once, right? And it was for my mate Matthew Blinch and Paul Reeves. It was their joint 11th birthday. And I think we played Coventry City at home. And I think we won 3 or 4 nil or 1, I can't remember. But as I think I might have said earlier, Chris Bethel, the Mill historian, very well known and respected at the club. When I was filming from the docks to the den, I saw him in the Millwall cafe just on the off chance one day when I was filming up this way. And he told me that there is a turnstile still, or something like a little gateway from the original. And obviously on top of what I've discovered last night online, I want to have a little look. But I remember it always being very tight around the back there. I only ever went once. So, yeah, we're going to see what we can see, what we can find. But when I did film the docks of the den, I'm sure I found like a little walkway up here. So, let's take a look. So this is it, Hunsdon Road. These are the even numbers. When I was researching as well online, I see people saying, oh, my granddad used to live at 35, I'm sure one of the numbers was. So that would be on that side. But I would absolutely love to get a look behind these gardens. Really hoping it's still there. Actually, I'm convinced it's still there. We'll find something. Got a little bit of practicing, didn't we, in Germany? We're now behind it, Hunsdon Road. So this would have been yeah. Now I'm convinced that is the, I think that's the wall. Obviously, there's nothing there anymore. There's writing things like pork fragments. The fuck that's about, I don't know. But I'm pretty sure that's it. And then this would have been the walkway down into the seated stand, which would have been here. I will keep searching, but I reckon that's definitely it. When I've looked on the maps this morning, it must be, because this is taking me back into John Williams' way. When I've looked on the map this morning, it said there was a care home. And I thought, surely there isn't, but I think that's what that is. It doesn't seem, it does seem wide enough, I suppose. I'm thinking now in my head the distance between Hunsdon Road and here, which obviously this would have been the halfway line stand, which would have made hill just there, I think. We'll keep searching. Yeah, it was a care home. Cold blow lane just at the bottom of that road where we drove in. So cold blow lane would have been down there, obviously, well, he's still down there. And as you can see, the school's in the background. So this now would have been halfway line stand. Pretty much walking on the pitch now, where the old pitch would have been. And that way obviously would have been where, probably a little bit further over that way, where the cold blow lane stand was. Right there it would have been. Mad, isn't it? It's actually mad. Yeah, what have we got here? A little alleyway. No, not an alleyway, a dead end. I suppose this is sort of where the seats would have been. That day in 1991, I was actually sitting closer up towards the away end, which would have been like that way. Such a shame, isn't it? It is a real shame. It was knocked down for well, Reg Burr wanted to move the club on to bigger and better things, and he got a lot of shit for that. But obviously, in hindsight, it was the right decision. Could we not rebuilt it where it was, stand by stand? John Williams Close, sorry, not John Williams Way. That there, obviously, is where the plaque was. I think a few times that's been stolen, more than once, and they're just not putting them up there no more, which is a shame. But there's plenty of in this world, so that's what happens, unfortunately. That's where we drove in from originally. As I said, that's where the main entrance would be. I have got one memory from this end. I can't remember what day it was. I don't know why, but the one memory I've got is we was on the telly, so it was obviously a Sunday, yeah, and I was been playing for long, and that adds up. And as we come down from that way, we walked down, so I don't know where we parked some wire that day, but we did somewhere different. And I must have been 10. There's a newer blue turd, look. I must have been, sort of, say, 10 years old. And as we walked up here to go in that way, a cameraman from the TV crew said to my dad, "Oh, will he be on camera?" And he said to me, "Walk down here and walk back up that way, and we'll film him walking past, but don't look at the camera." And I went all shy and embarrassed. No chance of that these days. I didn't want to do it. My dad called me a fucking idiot. Good old Len. Back on Hunsdon Road, where we sort of started to walk from today. And as I said earlier, that's where the stand where the players' lounge was and the seats, etc. The changing rooms obviously were behind the goal, weren't they? They used to go in behind the cold blow, underneath that little evil tunnel. But I'm convinced there's going to be something to find there, and I will keep searching for it. Although they're terraced, aren't they? So there's not going to be any breaks in play, I don't think. I was hoping for like a little sneaky alley or something. It's not looking likely. I did message Chris Bethel this morning. Hopefully he'll come back to me. Just it was a conversation that me and Chris had, well, obviously when I was filming Docs of the Dead, it must have been 5 years ago. But I'm sure he said there was something here. I don't know whether he said now a turnstile or part of a dugout. But I'm walking, obviously as I know now, behind these gardens is the care home. I've managed to get in, not the care home, don't worry, don't call the old bill. I've managed to get in that housing estate and you can't see anything. And there is just no breaks in these houses, and there obviously isn't going to be, is there? I've lost my head. I'm even looking at things like that thinking, hang on, was that the back end of something there? But it wouldn't have been that, would it? It would have been the other side. So no, you fucking idiot, isn't it? You might think you've already seen this bit, you have, but it is a second walk round, second lap. That building there's quite interesting. As I said earlier on in the video, obviously I've done the documentary, I will link in at the end. But I will probably still walk up this way a little bit. And I'm going to take a few stills for where I think things may potentially have been. I think I'm looking for too much. I'm looking for something like big that's going to be very noticeable. I don't think that's in my mind, that's what I pictured, but obviously I don't think I'm going to find that. I might find something very, very small. Obviously that and this is all part of the new. I'm convinced that that's the wall. I'm trying to get a good angle so I can sort of blend in with what I saw yesterday. Take a little photo on there. There you go. But that obviously, this would have been all original. Obviously Hill is up there and we're all going to have a look. I'll keep bleeping that out by the way, because obviously that's what people called it back then. And it was a different time back then, wasn't it? And I'm sure a lot of us are fine with calling it that. But just in case anyone gets offended, like many people do about anything and everything these days, I've bleeped it out. There's the old incinerator over there where the new ground is. We'll be able to see that in a minute. Right, this is looking more like it here, look. If I can find a picture to cut in there, then I will, but in my mind, that's where the old scoreboard would have been there. I actually, off the top of my head, it's not even bollocks. another game where I did actually sit, and my brother bought me that day. It was the first day I got my first ever pair of Puma Kings. My brother took me, sat in the cold blood, and we beat Notts County 6-1, 5-1. Right, here we go. I filmed there during the Docks to the Den. Right, this is it now. This is definitely it. I'm sure that Lottery Larry used to stand at the bottom of that arch. You pay him with his mate, however much it was, I think it was like £3. You'd drive up here. This was all parking, but like, what's the word I'm looking for? Derelict. And then we would go in just here-ish. Just here, I think. And then this is obviously what I mentioned earlier, where people would stand here. Again, people might in the comments will be going, that's not fucking right, but I think it is. People stand about here and look into the ground for free. Did you see the whole picture up there? I know you can see obviously the cold blow. I never did it obviously, so I went in the ground, but yeah, was it worth it? I suppose it would have been, wouldn't it? Little Freeman's, bosh. Oh man was one of them, he liked to get to the ground double early, but I'm assuming this was where the extra parking would stretch. And here as well would have been New Cross. Was it a ground track or a speedway or both? Well before my time, so yeah, someone let me know in the comments. Still not sure at this point. Well, if you're watching it now, I've put it out. But people do like to reflect on the history stuff. I know you've seen a lot of grass, you've seen a lot of housing estates and fucking upside down sofas on the sides of alleys. But people do seem to like it and have a chat about the old times in the comments. And we're going to be doing our second Millwall history piece, following on from the Docks then. I won't say any more than that for now. But it's coming. It's coming. Here we are. The London skyline in the background. And even more importantly, well, more of the London skyline. But there's the biggest attraction of all. Shard as well. A little bit closer, as close as you can get before it starts going downhill. Of course, Surrey Canal Road entrance there. That takes you up to the Alderton Road, and it just shows you how bored I can get on international breaks. But there you go, done and dusted. Is it me or does that look like, I ain't got my glasses on, it looks like a YouTube sign there, look. And on that note, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do. Going to do more of this Millwall history stuff. We're going to be focusing on players, a little bit of a giveaway there. Hope you've enjoyed the video. I'll see you next week at the Den. Derby at home, come on you Lions.